What is meditation? What is the purpose of meditation? Simple. The answer is to make your mind empty. Or in other words, to have zero thoughts. People ask, sir, what is this meditation and what to do and this? And so we need to take diksha, we need to take some initiation, we need to be in the presence of a guru. And what is all those things? No, it's very simple. Meditation is very, very simple. Only 3 simple steps, my dear friends. The first step is sit comfortably, clasping your hands, fingers into fingers, and crossing your feet and closing your eyes. So this is the first step. So in the first step, what we do is we are preparing our physical body to get into a state of stillness. When you still your body, close your eyes and clasp your hands and sit comfortably. You should sit as comfortably as possible. People say, sir, can we sit on the floor? Can we sit on the chair? You need to keep your back straight. Absolutely no. You have to sit very, very comfortable. You should sit in Sukhasana. Whichever posture is comfortable, you should take that. If you're comfortable sitting on the floor, sit on the floor. If you're comfortable sitting on the sofa, sit on the sofa. To become very comfortable and still in your body, clasp your hands and cross your feet. You see, when you lock your fingers and cross your feet, there is no leakage of energy, because in meditation, you're going to get a lot of energy. You're going to get a lot of cosmic energy. So before we receive a lot of cosmic energy, we make sure there is no energy dissipation. There is no leakage of energy. This is called a lock posture. In this posture, physically there is more stability. So that is the first step, my dear friends. So the first step is preparing the body. And the second step is observing your breath. After you still your body, so in the first step, you still your body. So in the second step, you just observe your natural breath. How the breath goes in and how the breath comes out, just like a wave. When you watch a sunrise, what you do, you are just witnessing the sun slowly coming up. And there is no thoughts, there is no thinking. You are just being a pure witness. Similarly, when you're observing the breath, you just be a witness. The breath is already happening. As I'm speaking, the breath is happening. As you are listening, the breath is happening. So when you close your eyes, you don't need to do anything. The breath is already happening. And you are witnessing the breath. As you enjoy the sunrise, as you witness the sunrise, enjoy the breath going in and coming out. Now people ask, sir, should we focus on the tip of the nose and then let the focus be on the tip of the nose? No. No focus on any point. Just go with the flow, go with the wave, go with the flow of the breath, follow the breath. So there can be different words. We can say observe the breath or witness the breath or follow the breath. Follow your own natural breath. Some people have a shorter breath, some people have a longer breath. Doesn't matter. Follow your own natural flow of your natural breath. And what happens when you observe the breath? When you start observing the breath, you will start noticing the thoughts. Some people say, oh, when I close my eyes, I get a lot of thoughts. No, you don't get thoughts. The thoughts are already there. But for the first time, you become aware of your thoughts. The thoughts are already there. When you start observing the breath, naturally, your thoughts on its own reduces, step by step, bit by bit. For example, if you have 100 thoughts per minute, and as you are observing the breath, the thoughts become 80 thoughts per minute, 60 thoughts per minute, 40 thoughts per minute, 20, 10, 5, finally it becomes 0. So this is the key. This is the science of meditation. When you are with your breath, the mind becomes rather empty. So the second step, my dear friends, is to still your mind. So how do you still your mind? By following your natural breath, by observing your natural breath. No mantras, no visualization, no chanting, nothing, absolutely nothing. Just be with your normal natural breath. That is the second step. Now the third step is, as you are observing the breath, you will notice a lot of thoughts. And sometimes you will have certain experiences. You will start planning for the future, or amazing things happens, or there is some flash happening. All those things happens. So anything which happens in meditation, you cut, come back to breath. So the third step and the most important step is, don't fight with your thoughts, whether it is positive thoughts, negative thoughts, miraculous thoughts, or any future planning, doesn't matter. Tell yourself it's time to meditate. Yes, amazing, beautiful ideas are there. That I will pay attention after meditation. Now I am sitting in meditation. Now the goal of meditation, the purpose of meditation is empty mind. So I will be with my breath. I will not entertain any thoughts whatsoever. Even if it is miraculous thoughts, I will not entertain. So the third step, my dear friends, is while you're observing the breath, you cut all the thoughts. Any thoughts you get, you cut the thoughts. Come back to breath. So the third step is coming back to breath again and again and again. Now here there is something important to notice. You will be observing the breath and all of a sudden you realize, oh, I'm thinking, there is a thought. That moment you realize you are thinking, that moment, immediately, without wasting a single second, immediately you cut the thought. Even if you spend 1 second towards the thought, it becomes difficult to cut the thought. So you have to cut immediately and come back to your breath. What is cutting the thoughts? People ask, sir, what is cutting the thoughts? How do we cut the thoughts? Cutting the thoughts means you don't give any energy to the thought. You don't give any attention to the thought. You simply come back to the breath. Cutting the thoughts means simply immediately coming back to the breath. Whenever you immediately come back to the breath, that means you are cutting the thoughts. When you notice the thought, immediately come back to the breath. That is cutting the thoughts. So in the first step, you still your body. In the second step, you still your mind. In the third step, you are stilling all your intellect. Again, the technique is come back to the breath, come back to the breath. So naturally, your awareness goes beyond the body and then goes beyond the mind and then goes beyond the intellect. And finally, your awareness is with yourself, with your Atma. So you become a pure witness. So in that state of pure witness, you understand a lot about yourself. There is self-realization and there is self-transformation. This is called enlightenment. So this is a very simple science behind this meditation, my dear friends. 3 simple steps. The first step, sit comfortably. The second step, close your eyes, observe the breath. And the third step, the moment you notice any thoughts, simply cut the thoughts and come back to the breath.